So the microbiome is all of the microbes that live in and on us, and it's usually related to the gut or discussed in context of the gut because that's where the greatest concentration of these microbes are. So we've known for a long time that the gut is the center of our immune system and our health, and it's like our first line defense to the outside world. 70% of our immune system is in the lining of our small intestine, so it certainly is that first line defense. We understand now about the connection between the gut and the brain and how the gut is a sensory organ. It's got as many nerve cells in it as in the brain, I think more actually, and it's a sensory organ sending information back to the brain, telling the brain what's going on in the environment of the body, and giving this sort of feedback. So yeah, it's really very strong connection between those two organs. And we talk about the gut being the second brain, and some medical specialists and scientists actually call it the first brain, because it's actually getting the information first and then sending it back. So needless, both of them are very intertwined, and the microbiome is a huge player in the way that the health and function of the gut, but also the signaling. It's the organism itself of the microbiome is a signaling system, and it interrelates with the human host, which is us. So we'll talk more about that and the role of it as we go along. So the microbiome, the term itself, is all of the different microbes and also their genetic material. So, and it's not just bacteria, even though that is the greatest concentration. It's also, funguses, yeast, viruses, and those kind of things as well, but also their genetic material. So we first discovered that this human microbiome when we were looking at the human genome, and we discovered all of this genetic material that wasn't human. And at first estimates, there was 10 to 1 microbes, or 10 to 1 genetic fragments that weren't human, so much more of them than there are human genes or human cells. When I first started doing this work, we had 22,000 human genes and another 8 million more microbial genes. And I read a paper the other day where the estimation's up to about 46 million microbial genes. And so the way that they interact with human genes is huge, and there's a lot more of them than there are human genes. And like I said before, the microbiome is definitely discussed in context of the gut, but it's not just the gut. All body sites have got their own microbiome: the skin, the mouth, the lungs. When we're talking about the first 1,000 days, the 3 biggest body sites that we need to look after the microbiome, because it's having such a huge influence over the health and function of that body site, obviously is the gut. The second one is the vagina and reproductive organs. They have their own microbiome, and also the breast milk and the breast tissue and that microbiome in there. We'll talk about all the different roles of that and how we can optimize that.